Pankaj, Sun Pharma's Halol facility, one of the most important facility as far as Sun Pharma is concerned, recently got the approval from the US FDA for this particular facility. It happened 3 months ago. Now, just within 3 months, you understand and realize the importance of the Halol facility. Just on the basis of this inspection, so many approvals started coming in for Sun Pharma. The other key thing that happened, once the Halol clearance did come through, although Sun Pharma was easily able to meet a lot of the analyst estimates simply because of the ramp up of the specialty products that Sun Pharma has in its pipeline. So the importance of the Halol facility for Sun Pharma cannot be understated. In fact, for the last year, Halol facility contributed between 10 to 15% of its US sales and between 4 to 8% of its overall revenues. So quite an important facility, quite a big facility. Now coming to what has actually happened between August 27 to August 31st, US FDA had a surprise inspection. Sun Pharma was not informed about the inspection earlier, and while at this point of time, the Form 483 does not clearly mention whether this was a plant inspection or whether this was an inspection for a particular drug. Irrespective of that, the company has received a Form 483, and what is significant is that a facility that was just cleared 6 months ago, 3 to 6 months ago, has actually received 6 observations in the Form 483. So this is something that will worry the seat because it appears as though there has been some amount of laxity as far as observing good manufacturing practices is concerned from Sun Pharma. So we have access to the 6 observations. The first observation, of course, regards to lab controls, and they're saying that the company has not used scientifically sound test procedures in as far as lab controls is concerned. A second one, and this is a slightly crucial, tricky one that Sun Pharma may have to spend slightly longer amount of time. Procedures to prevent objectionable microorganisms has not been followed, and this believes that this may actually impact the quality of the drug that is being manufactured. Third, of course, the written stability program does not include the sample size, does not appear to be too important. The company should be able to close this particular observation. Most important one, no written procedures being followed as far as production and process controls are concerned. Again, the fifth observation actually pertains to the company not having a cleansing process for the equipment cleaning process that it has. And lastly, responsibles for the quality control unit are not being mentioned in writing. Again, a lot of this could be avoided as far as Sun Pharma is concerned, and at this point of time, remember, the company would have to actually go ahead and file a written response letter to the US FDA, post which the US FDA will actually look at the responses and decide whether to close the observations or come in for another audit. At this point of time, sentimentally, of course, it's a little bit of a dampener as far as Sun Pharma is concerned.
Right. Vivek, I just wanted to understand that when you say that they have to find a written audit, whether the re-inspection will happen or not, sometimes it's case-to-case basis. So sometimes if the procedures which they have written and given are fine, you sometimes don't need re-inspection, because within 8 months, this plant has seen 2 big inspections completing where observations are not particularly, very, very serious. So what is the sense that you get is the way ahead?
Well, Pankaj, I spoke to a couple of stakeholders as far as this particular case is concerned, and the sense that I'm getting is 4 out of the 6 observations at this point of time doesn't look to be too threatening or too serious, but a couple of observations, anything regarding quality, anything regarding presence of microorganisms in the testing procedure or even in the drug making procedure, these are quite tricky. And what I believe is that Sun Pharma will have to give a very detailed written response. Remember, the other thing that we are still not sure at this point of time whether this was that only the company can actually come and tell is that whether this was a plant specific inspection or whether this was an inspection for a particular drug. In case it was a plant specific inspection, of course, the entire scale grows up quite significantly. For a particular drug, just the release of the drug or just the approval of the drug may get slightly delayed. So at this point of time, all depends on how well the company is able to respond to this Form 483 issued by the US FDA.